Hi everyone, here's an interesting question for you. What was the Kraken from Greek mythology? Well, you might be thinking, the Kraken isn't from Greek mythology, so the question doesn't make any sense. Well, that's a fair point, but because of modern media, there is this perception among many people that the Kraken is a monster from Greek mythology. You see, this is primarily because of Clash of the Titans, both the original film and the more modern 2010 version. So in both of those films, the massive dramatic final boss, as it were, at the end, the big monster in the finale, is a kraken, an enormous tentacled sea monster. And obviously, because of the fame and influence of the first film particularly, that has led to this idea that the kraken is part of Greek mythology, even though actually it isn't. So let's just run through the basic story because that's important. So the story is Perseus goes and slays Medusa. Medusa, the gorgon who could turn anyone to stone whenever they looked at her. And so he kills her, he cuts off her head, he takes her head, and then later on he gets to Andromeda, who is tied by the shore, and then there's this sea monster, the Kraken, that's going to devour her. So Perseus uses Medusa's head to turn the Kraken into stone. That's the basic story that appears in both versions of Clash of the Titans. So that's what a lot of people have in mind as this story involving the Kraken. Now, when you find out that the Kraken actually doesn't appear in Greek mythology, it actually comes from Scandinavian mythology or Scandinavian folklore, well, a lot of people might just assume that that means that this whole story never happened. But that's actually not true. In fact, that basic story did happen in Greek mythology. That is the story, or part of the story, of Perseus. And the Kraken, well, that wasn't just a totally invented aspect of that story by the filmmakers. Actually, the Kraken was simply a substitute for something else that does appear in the original story. So in the original story, there is a sea monster, it's just not called a Kraken, and the sea monster itself is a bit different. So a Kraken, which comes from Scandinavian mythology, is a large tentacled creature or multi-armed creature. And it's commonly thought today, and with good reason, that it's actually an exaggerated version of a giant squid. You see, this comes from Scandinavian folklore from the 1700s. So based on those early descriptions of it and the fact that giant squid are found in the Scandinavian area of activity in the northern seas, it is logical that the Kraken would be based on a giant squid, which is present there, but not excessively common. It's not easy to see. It's very elusive, and that elusive nature would make it easily the subject of legends and folklore whenever it was seen. See, if it was just a common animal, then there wouldn't really be legends about it, would there? So the fact that it's there in that area where Scandinavian sailors travelled, but it wasn't very common, that is exactly the kind of thing that would lead to these exaggerated accounts of a giant sea monster, a giant squid, hence the Kraken. So then when we come to Clash of the Titans, we see that the filmmakers created an even more exaggerated version of that. So when you look at the Kraken in Clash of the Titans, it doesn't look anything like a giant squid. In fact, you can hardly even tell that that's what it was well, you can't tell if you didn't know that that's what it was originally meant to be. But when we look to the original story of Perseus saving Andromeda using the head of Medusa, because that is an aspect of at least one version of the story in ancient times. That's not the only version of how he kills the sea monster, but that is in one version. When we look to these ancient versions, there is a sea monster, but it's specifically a Cetus. Now, a Cetus isn't a specific name for one individual creature. It's not the Cetus, it's just a Cetus. A Cetus is like a class of creature. It's the generic term for a particular type of sea monster in Greek mythology. And it seems that they believed that this really existed. This wasn't just something from mythology that took place in the distant past. This was something that they actually believed existed in their world. So there are lots of descriptions of what this sea monster was actually like, and it's portrayed as a very, very large whale-like sea creature, or even a large serpentine sea monster. But in any case, we get the idea. It's an absolutely enormous sea monster, generally elongated, but at the same time enormous. It's not multi-armed or multi-tentacled or anything like that. And we see this same depiction on ancient Greek art. There are depictions of Perseus killing the Cetus and other depictions of the Cetus as well by itself. So we can see clearly that it's an elongated serpentine monster, but with fins, kind of whale-like as well. Now, when we think about what this could possibly have been in real life, if there was any actual inspiration for this, then in my opinion, there's only basically one legitimate, one valid, reasonable candidate, which is a whale. Now, it's true that it is sometimes presented as a serpentine monster, but let's not get carried away with that expression serpentine, because there is no serpent on Earth which is large enough to justify being the origin of this legend, of this sea monster that was attacking this coastal city. Because it wasn't just Andromeda that was at threat from this monster. You see, in the original account of Perseus, Andromeda is being sacrificed to the sea monster, not just for the sake of it. It's not anything to do with her specifically. It's so that the sea monster will spare the city. You see, the sea monster is attacking the city, so they think that to save themselves, they need to offer this sacrifice to it. So they want to offer Andromeda. That's why it's going to eat Andromeda. That's why Perseus needs to save her. But it's not actually focusing on Andromeda. There's nothing special about her. It's attacking the whole city. So in my opinion, there's no way that a serpent would be able to be the origin of that legend, if it has an origin whatsoever. Of course, this could just be ancient fiction, absolutely, but if it has a historical origin, I don't think it could be a serpent, whereas a whale would be a far more plausible origin. Obviously, whales don't go on land, but given that it was said to be a coastal city and their ships were very important, they relied on trade, a whale would have been able to present this threat to their city, in the waters just off the coast of the city. And whether it was actually being aggressive or not, it would have been a perceived threat. Now, a particular whale, which I think may be the origin of this, although I think it's impossible to say for sure, but a fin whale is the largest type of whale in the Mediterranean. And although it's not common in the Eastern Mediterranean, it is present there sometimes. And the fact that it's not common there is actually something that would lend itself to this legendary status, just like the point about the Kraken. The Kraken comes from the giant squid, almost certainly, and the giant squid is very elusive. So that lends itself to legends being formed around it, because hardly anyone ever actually sees it. So a fin whale being uncommon in the Eastern Mediterranean, but not unheard of entirely, that would lend itself to this legendary status. And given that, as I said, it wasn't just a creature that was supposed to have existed in this one story, this story about Perseus, but this was actually a creature that the Greeks believed existed and they talked about, evidently it was something that really did exist in the real world. So I don't think that we can just say that it's an ancient fiction, because that wouldn't explain the, we could say, contemporary descriptions of it as actually being a part of the real world of the Greeks. So there must be something that they were talking about. And I think a large whale in the Mediterranean is what makes the most sense. And when we look at the ancient depictions of it and the descriptions, we see that that does actually make a lot of sense. A fin whale in particular is especially elongated. You see, sperm whales are also found in the Mediterranean, but they don't really have that same elongated serpentine kind of structure as a fin whale. Of all the whales that are in the Mediterranean, the fin whale is the largest and the most serpentine. So it naturally accommodates that depiction or that description of it being like a whale, but also like a serpentine whale. And that also fits the fact that it had fins. You see, a serpent, a real snake, doesn't have fins, whereas the Cetus is always presented as having fins. So that fits a whale, but it doesn't fit a serpent. So that is another piece of evidence that it was a whale, regardless of what specific species, and not an exaggerated depiction of a serpent, because that wouldn't explain the fins. So in all aspects, I would say a whale is the best explanation for what the Greeks were talking about when they referred to the Cetus. And specifically, the fin whale makes the most sense in that it's the largest and elongated and therefore quite serpentine, and also it's fairly uncommon in the Eastern Mediterranean, hence leading itself to a legendary status. So that, in my opinion, is the Kraken, as it were, of Greek mythology.